Alright. Oh, yeah. So, we have started on the worst map of me. It was Touch and Down. My by far worst map. And I was really, really uncomfortable on this. Because the identity, when I warmed up early in the afternoon and also in the previous days, it never really worked on a consistent base. So I went into this with the mindset of just finishing. I even thought I would get last. But yeah. As you know, I didn't. So, map 1's result was actually a lot better than expected. But let's take a look here at how it went. Hello, I'm just here to know how to pronounce your name. I think it's... No, it's not. It is Riolu. Hello there, Deniso Italiano. The man, the myth, the legend from Discord. Are you overall happy with how you have driven? I am... not super happy with it, actually. I could have driven a lot better on map 5 and map 6. On map 5, I had the pace to fight for the victory. And I think I also did on map 6. But on map 6, they drove really fast. So, I'm okay, but it could have been better. It could have been better. So, the overall result doesn't match my driving. But I won't complain. I really won't complain. And good night, Salty Kappa. Thank you, man. Also, let's just drop the discussion here and focus on the happenings here. So here we have the first identity. I hit really badly. We can maybe take a look at it again. So, the problem that I had, for whatever reason, on this identity is that I hit too much on the back of the bar. So, I hit a bad spot, and that caused my car to not drop far enough.
Good match, mate.
So, you will see here. I landed on top of the edge, and that's because I had a bad hit at the top. And that happened so many times, I don't know why. I really don't know why. Otherwise, I would have fixed it. But I have no idea what caused this. So, I'm lucky that I was able to get over the edge just barely. So, I had a very shitty lap 1 here. But not last. Not last. Yo, Granadi! And Jedix.
You should have entered more from the right.
Nice memes. Thank you for the resubs, guys. I appreciate both of you. Just like I appreciate the points that I was able to keep after step 6. Map 6, I mean. Maybe you missed, but what do you think about the point system? Well, I talked about it on virtual stream in the interview. I'm honestly fine with the point system because it really pushes you.
Nice performance for the first step. Entertainment 10 out of 10. Checkpoints 9/10. Really mean.
Oh yeah, the checkpoint disaster. Let's not talk about it. Roge, welcome back. Thank you for the 16-month resub. So before I get back to the points, here we come to identity number 2. And I hit bad again. Like, you need to hit more, yeah, how do I explain? Like, you need to be more in the bar. Like, I barely hit it. And that's what causes my car to barely rotate, and I hit the edge again. But this time a little bit better. So this time I actually kept a bit more speed, but still ass. So that's another 1 second lost here, probably. Even more than 1 second. However, not last. Anyway, about the point system. The point system is fine as long as you play maps that are consistent and that are not having shit identities like this. I would have been very mad if this map was map 6. I had a lot of points and I would have lost my points because of the identity. Then I would have been mad. But considering the fact that the point loss only applied to maps that were more consistent, I'm fine. And as I said, it really pushes you. And I like playing under pressure. So, I enjoy it, actually. Sure, it's not perfect. I think we can all agree that it's not perfect, but I like it. I like the approach, at least. So here we come up to the third one. And this one was actually bad as well. Yeah! Barely made it. So here I now drop down to 13th place. How do you hit the bar more? I have no idea. If I knew, I wouldn't have done this. I have no idea. Something that I did in my inputs wasn't correct. Because it is not PF. You need to counter steer in the air, you need to release, and you need to hold brake. It's really, really weird. It's really, really weird. Yo, Kolisa, thank you, man. Thank you, thank you. Will there be 3 new maps for every upcoming step? Yes. So we're gonna keep map 4, 5, and 6 from this step for step 2, and we will have 3 new maps. You should see Masa on this map. Yeah, I know. I saw what happened to him. And that's exactly why identities like this shouldn't be in TMGL, because air control is so fine and so precise and kinda unpredictable. Okay, so here you see I hit it better. Look, here I hit better and I instantly made the rotation. So look, now I hit the bar more. Like, I hit the bar with half my car. But before I only hit with my wheels. And that's the problem. So I didn't get enough rotation in. And yeah. Now I make it. Now look. Easy clap. It's so stupid. Like, I don't know why that happened. I have no idea. It's based on air control, it's based on your trajectory, it's based on, like, so many things that you... I don't know, man. It's... I can't answer. I honestly don't know. I haven't been able to figure this out. I will not play the maps later. I'm, like, really exhausted. I'm just gonna... I'm gonna show you this and I'm gonna go. There's enough time to look at the maps tomorrow. How do you feel about places 8 to 16 lose a percentage of their points? It has been discussed, but it doesn't eliminate the problem. It makes the problem smaller, but it doesn't eliminate it. So it would create tighter fights, and it would smaller, or it would make the gap between players smaller, but the problem is still there. Which isn't, in my opinion, a problem. It's part of the game. Here I hit badly again, but for some reason I made it. Which I found very interesting. And then we went into the final lap already. So this is lap number 6. I was 11th. Checking my position here. So I was 11th and I had a couple players right in front of me. I saw Bren and Coco were not too far ahead. So I knew if I could get a good lap 6, I could maybe make up a couple positions. So I was trying to push it here a little bit. Was going for a bit of a better pace. I overtook Bren here. This part was alright. Had a bit of struggle with this. I wasn't really able to get this down a lot, but it was fine here in this lap. Bit too wide on the grass as well. Had a little bug on the transition, so that also cost me a little bit of speed. And yeah, then coming down to the last identity. So I was 9th here at this point, and I think I was 7th in the end, I think. So 2 people, Masa and someone else, died. So here, another very good hit here in lap 6. And actually went up to 7th place. So this result was so much better than what I expected. As I said, I really thought I'm gonna get last or something. Because I really expected the worst. I really expected to not even make it to this checkpoint here after the identity. So I wasn't really optimistic about this track. So a 7th place was really, really good. It was much better than what I thought was possible with my pace. And it could have been a PB, actually. I don't remember. I think my PB was a 7:19. So I drove a 7:20 here. Pretty good. I'm happy. So the fastest lap went to Masa. And now we had the little break here, so we can just skip this. And move on to map number 2. Yes. Fuck. I'm mad just seeing this. Fuck. Oh, man. I don't even want to see this. But you guys will see why it happened, probably. Because I legitimately got cucked by the game. So here we go. This was one of the map where I knew I could fight for top positions because I had a good pace here and I was consistent at the turnaround. I knew how to avoid the P. And I had a very good pace at the turnaround. So I knew I could fight for some very, very good points. And I think my lap 1 looked very promising. My lap 1 was pretty good, I think. And also the other laps. I was never like down to the bottom places. I was always somewhere at the front. So let's just see how this goes. Yo, Bergie, thank you, man. I hope you're happy. Because I am. I am. I certainly am. Not gonna lie, I got away, quite lucky, but that's the game. It can only get better from this point. So here I already had a bit of a Monka W, because I hit the barrier. But yeah, here you go. Where will the VOD of the Grand League be uploaded? You can watch it right now. This is what I'm gonna upload to YouTube as well. I'm gonna upload my own POV to YouTube at this point. But there are several streamers or casters who have provided a general overview. For example, my teammate Virtual, so you can definitely take a look at that. Hubinator. So, 4th place, 0.2 behind after first lap. A bit into lap 2, so a very good pace here so far. Virtual was awesome at casting. That's good. Oh yeah, no slide here. I no slid. This was already quite a cuck. I no slid. I'm not sure if you saw that. Not sure if you saw that on stream. But yeah, I basically braked too early. I thought I got the drift from the Randstein, but I didn't. So good recovery, and I only look. I'm still 0.4 behind. So I think everybody who was in front of me made like a similar mistake. So I got away nicely here. This should have been punished more, but I got away lucky here. I played with in-game music, yeah, for YouTube, so I could upload it. Also went a bit too wide, but no P. This was very safe. I used a lot of my room there, but was fine. Still in the mix here, 0.7 behind, going into lap number 3. So everything was still open. Why don't you use VLC? I don't know, I don't care, honestly, this works. I barely play back media on my PC, so I don't care. This does its job just fine. Bit of a safe drift here. The drift was quite weird, because the transition from grass to road is sometimes a bit buggy. So here, started my drift extra late to make sure I don't no-slide. And here at this point I was 1 second down, mainly because of my safe drift, because I had no speed coming out of it. So I was 1 second down, but even 1 second down was still, like, possible to catch up, in theory. This was a good turnaround here, a lot of speed. But I didn't have the balls to go for the insta auto-slide jump. Cost me a bit of time by going wide, but all good. All good. So still 4th. Had a bit of a wonky entry here. This wasn't very good. But at least I landed smoothly. So here I was in a fight with Carl Jr. And I think he passed me at some point. But we were always close. Until the until the end, I think. Caught a bit too much of the dirt here on the inside. Good drift. Good nosedive. Up to 3rd. Past Scrappy, who made a mistake. So now it was me on 3rd and Carl on 4th. This jump was good. Tight line. Good speed. I think this turnaround was really juicy. Yeah. Oh, it's fine. And here I did go for the insta jump. And this actually saved me a lot of time. So here at this point, I went up to 2nd place. I passed Papu and I slimmed down the gap to Revolution from 1.5 to 1 second almost flat. So this was really fast. This was really, really good. Could have been fastest lap time, but someone was faster than me. So here I was 2nd at this point. The battle was really, really crunchy. Overshot here. Overshooting there is actually worse than you might think. Yeah, you can send me clips after the VOD. After we're done with this. Had to release like 3 times. But I caught up to Revo. Now it's only 0.8. So I knew if I pushed it, I could maybe win the map and win 100 euro. So I knew it was on the line here. It was on the line. And this is exactly what I thought about here at this point. It went through my mind exactly here at this point. And after this good turnaround, I knew I was in the money. But then, land bug. I landed really, really ass on the ramp. Here. Look at this shit. Bonk. And then I didn't even get the drift after that. So, from a 0.7 deficit to plus 1.1 seconds. And considering the fact that I only lost 0.4, gave you an idea how good I had of a first turnaround. So, here we go with lap number 6, ladies and gentlemen. The moment you have all been waiting for. I hate myself for doing this. So the battle was really crunchy at this point. I was regularly checking my interface and I knew I was in the battle. Everyone was like 1.1, 1.2 seconds apart from each other at this point. Also had to lift off here a little bit. But yeah, you see, it was 1 second between 1st and 5th. So it would all come down to the last turnaround section. To the last identity of lap 6. It was all coming down to that part. And I knew it. So I pushed it. Which, in hindsight, I shouldn't have. But I did. I had a bit of a P. Like, not too bad of a P. But it wasn't also the greatest turnaround. And then. Here is where the fuck up began. Let's pump up the audio. Listen. I turned my interface on at this point to check if I got the checkpoint. I heard click and I went for it. What happened? Yeah, Pepega happened. I couldn't believe my eyes. I couldn't fucking believe it, man. And here on the left side, you saw my name, Riolu. It went down like in a casino. Riolu stonks going down.
Hello,
I can't
like
believe
money.
it.
Riolu versus Checkpoint,
fucking believe it.
Colorize 2020.
biggest cuck of my entire life. So, and here's the problem. Here's why it happened. Because it makes sense, even though it shouldn't happen. When you turn on the interface, for some reason, the game plays back a checkpoint sound. Like when you cross a checkpoint with interface off, and you turn on the interface at a later point, it will play the checkpoint sound, like, to make up for it, you know? Like, it doesn't play the sound when your interface off. Or it plays it again, like, for some, like, it's really fucked up. It plays it again. So, here, it was close. I mean, look. I really thought I maybe got it by a hair. I turned on my interface to check, did I get it? I heard a click. I went for it. And it didn't fucking count. I mean, yeah, I missed it here. Look, I missed it. But in the heat of the situation, I thought I got it. Yeah. Forehead. Here, I was fourth. Was fourth. Man, this was making me so mad. You have no idea. I was so triggered, I didn't even bother to air brake anymore. I had one hand on the gas pedal, the other hand I facepalmed. What's Riola's position in the league? What about you watch together with us to find out the final result? Don't spoil. So, I went from possibly 3rd, 4th to 14th. Very nice. But yeah. I was like, okay, heads up, focus. Because I didn't lose any points. I only got 3 points, but it was fine. Yeah? It was fine. Shut up, Kim. Fuck off. So, we are skipping to map number 3. Piece of cup. More like piece of shit. Here we go. So on this map, my pace was either PogChamp, like really good, or trash. Let's find out what happens. How does the point loss work? The point loss kicks in starting from map 4. On map 4, on map 5, and on map 6. If you get 9th or worse at the end of a map, you lose all the points that you have gained beforehand. So now that we're in map 3, you still don't lose points. This is still the farming part of the step. Like, you're a farmer on your field and you need to farm the points. Yeah, true, Paidu. Like, of course, it's really, really unlucky that it happened, but shit happened. Like, I'm not crying about it. So, here we go. First nipple section. Not the greatest speed. But, yeah. Okay. Keep going. Keep going. Doesn't matter. People are gonna fail. That's what I thought. I thought people are gonna fail. Also, Vandiril, thank you for the 222 donation. I'm gonna play back your video after we're done with this. So yeah, the checkpoint thing is ridiculous, and I'm definitely gonna report this. So, pace was alright. Here I almost went into the wall. Unnecessary risk. But on the other hand, I also knew I had to risk it because people are better at the nips than I was. So here we go again. Very far to the left, and I was like, fuck. Here I was like, fuck, squared. And here I was like, fuck, again. But it was fine. No, I didn't have any shot caller. I don't like shot calling. So yeah, first 2 laps were very bad. And I was a bit upset that the nipples didn't work the way I wanted them to work. Because I knew I could do better, but it just didn't work. But yeah, I just kept going. Because also here, I knew I couldn't lose my points. So I just played my game. And bye-bye, clear water. Have a good night. Browns, nice meme. Alright. Again, not the greatest entry. I don't know what made me do this, but yeah, bad entry. Here also Monka S. Mainly because I did get a little slowdown on here. Going down here, I lost my speed. And I almost... Like, my setup was kind of preparing... My setup was for higher speed. But then I lost my speed and I couldn't adjust in time. So it actually... I don't think it was the gear. I just had, like, a really bad landing. So 11th place at this point, 4.3 seconds behind. So not the pace that I was wishing for. But I was still hoping that I could get good nips. Because the nips on lap 3 were okay. So I thought, hey, maybe I got it down now. And I could push it in the next laps. Not the greatest turn there. This is 60 FPS, but probably the playback through this video player is a bit meh. But this is 60 FPS, 1440p recording. This will look really crisp on YouTube, I think. Or I hope, at least. So this was good. This was actually really good, and with this I was actually able to overtake Revolution, who I was surprised about him being on only 10th place. Because he was really, really fast in the practice. But for some reason, also for him, it didn't quite work out. So at this point, I was like, okay, cool. Could maybe go for a little push here. I had a few drivers not too far away from me. How much practice time did you get? The maps were released more than a month ago, but I have seriously started practicing around Christmas. How many people are qualified in TMGL? 16. Yo, Hefes, dankeschön. Yeah, the bug slides didn't work. I don't know. We need to practice this, man. For next time. Also here, good nipple section. Even caught up to the leader. So this was another good nipple section here in lap 5. Allowing me to go up to 9th place. Only half a second behind Orel. So I could maybe gain another position or so towards the end of this map. What happened to Marcin? Marcin was unable to join the server for some reason. So we had to start without him. I don't know why, and it really made me sad in the beginning. It made me really sad because he practiced a lot and he wasn't able to play due to technical difficulties. So that was really unfortunate for Marcin. He just couldn't join any TrackMania server for some reason. Not only this server, but he actually couldn't join any server. So there was something on his end, unfortunately. So now we're coming up to the final nipple section here. With a bad entry. Had a bit of a landing bug there. And this was like absolutely horrible. I don't know what I did here. And it almost cost me... It cost me the position to Revo, I think. But it almost lost me the position to Orel as well. So, 9th place with a 745. Which was roughly my average for this track. So I'm not disappointed. But I knew, like, could have also been an above average run. Sadly, didn't happen. Couldn't they wait for him to fix the issue? The issue hasn't been able to be resolved for like an hour. The server opened at 7, and since that, he wasn't able to join. So, an hour of troubleshooting sadly wasn't enough to fix the issue. Also, Denizo, stop talking about pervert. You're new here, so adapt. Alright. For the sake of others, I will keep this in English. Just out of curiosity, the others in the match are all top-tier drivers too, right? Do you know any of them personally? Yeah, we're all, like, here for a reason. And, yeah. I have met most of these people IRL already. The only people that I have not met are, Pack. Bren, I think? Might have talked to Bren, I don't know. I think, yeah, I met Bren at the Raider Cup, I think. I didn't meet Revolution. I didn't meet Kappa. And I didn't meet Scrappy. And I didn't meet Matt. But I met most of the people. So now we had the 10-minute break in between the maps. Where I was invited to the interview with Virtual. So here we go with map number 4. So at this point, if you get 9th or worse, you do lose all of the points you have gotten beforehand. So yeah, I have 15 for example at this point. And if I get 9th, 10th, 11th and so on, at the end of the map, I will lose all 15 points and only get the points that are worth for the position that I will get. So like 1, 2, 3 and so on. 10-minute pause, too long? Could have been shorter, yeah. To be honest, could have been 5 minutes. I think 10 minutes is a bit too long. But it's not a big complaint. I'm fine. Yeah, between... Oh yeah, mid-road bug. Also, here, hello. I'm not sure if anyone saw that in virtual stream, but I got a mid-road bug here as well. So, good start. Boop! It almost killed my race already. So, we were off to a rather mediocre start here on map number 4. But hey. I saw Carl was actually behind me at this point. And also Matt. Matt, who I thought is going to be faster on this map. My bug slides were slower than the normal downhill. Yeah, I know. Like, all of my bug slide exits were bad. I don't know, man. I need to work on my bug slides. The only bug slide I think that was good was in lap 5. In lap 5, I actually had a bug slide exit with the ass. And here, Papu left the game. Here, Papu's game crashed. And, or he DC'd or something. I was like, holy fuck. Because Papu had 34 points. And he would guaranteed lose them now. So that's one less opponent for me. But I was a bit starstruck here. Because I really didn't expect people to DC midway. Normally people's game maybe crashes, I don't know, at map switch or something, but not in the middle. That was really, really awkward. But yeah, about U-Between. For the TMGL, there was a very big transfer market. Like, a lot of new orgs and a couple player switches. Which is why Papu is still in Gamers Origin, but Aurel switched. Which is why I have an org, which is why other people have an org as well, going into TMGL. He DC'd Tom. Give him the benefit of the doubt. If your race was dead, would you rage quit? No, because A, I am not someone who rage quits, and B, rage quitting would disqualify me out of the whole league. So, not the greatest thing to do. Hello, Hav. Come in and find out. No spoiler roonies. Here we go, lap 3. I thought this one was okay, but it wasn't. So I don't know, maybe for step 2 I'm just gonna go normal way. The bug slide certainly didn't bring the fruits that I was expecting to grow here on my tree. So I might just go and play normal in step 2. Gotta see what my coach Bergie has to say about this. No, Cookie Monster. I'm not gonna show the maps. I'm already tired. Gonna play all the new maps tomorrow. Yeah, the map pool for step 2 will consist of the 3 last map of step 1. So this one, and the upcoming 2 maps, and then 3 new maps. So, Nath, we're still gonna play this in step number 2. Hello, I know you get this question a lot, but I'm new to TrackMania. I'm using a keyboard and I have absolutely no experience with controllers in general. Is it okay to play with keyboard? If so, what are advantages and disadvantages? First of all, hi and welcome to the game. Nice to see you, man. Now it depends what TrackMania do you play. If you play Stadium, it doesn't really matter what you use. Also here I messed up my Neo slide. But yeah, it doesn't really matter whether you use keyboard or controller. Here in the TrackMania Grand League, which is the biggest competition in the game, people use both. So you can use both as long as you just get comfortable yourself. There are certain disadvantages to keyboard, such as a lack of precision, and certain techniques are a little bit easier with a gamepad. But all in all, it's really doable. So at the end of the day, just go with whatever you like. Oh, very good question, press next. Oh, here I had my ass exit. I gained a 2 whole tenths of a second. PogChamp. No, but yeah, to come back on Press Next's question. The points that I have secured after step 1 will not get lost. These are now set in stone, and they're, like, safe. They're not on the line for step 2. For step 2, you start from scratch. But yeah, here, I don't know, I had... Maybe it was the nerves, I don't know. I made a lot of mistakes here. Couldn't even Neo slide properly. Maybe I was too scared of no slides, I think. Yeah, Jojo, I know. He was kicked. C'est dommage. But Papu recovered really nicely. Here I also tried to go for an ass hit, because it was lap 6 and I was in the red. So lap 6 is very interesting, because here's where a couple position changes happen in the end. So let's take a look here. I am on P12 with, yeah, a 3.5 second gap up to the green position held by Tween at the moment. So I would have to, A, rely on mistakes, and B, yeah, hope for the sickest part I could have ever driven in that part. So let's see what's gonna happen. Here, all of a sudden, I was 9th. I was like, what the fuck happened here? It seems like Tween died. Let's actually see who else was in front. Wait. Here, Tween was in front. Pack as well? Or what? Yeah, Pack, Aurel, Roll, like everyone. Everyone died. And I was 9th at this point. I was 9th at this point. I was like, okay, sick. I could maybe keep my points. It was only 1600s up to spam. So I was like, okay, geil. If I get a good end, I could keep my 15 points on a map where I'm not very good on. So I went for it. This was okay, and then, BAM! No slide. Obviously. And at this point, I was like, okay, fuck. Points are gone. Points are definitely gone. But what happened in the end is this. 3700s between Rollin and me. Rollin, who was behind. And Spam, who was ahead of me. So we had a swap between all 3 of us in the end. So if I didn't have the Neo slide, the no slide, I would have kept my 15 points. And I didn't realize until I crossed the finish line. That was actually sad. That was actually sad. And yeah, you see, lap 6 was Pepega. And it really was. It really, really was. So, goodbye, 15 points. Other noteworthy losses are Spam, who got minus 35. Pack, minus 21. Matt, minus 10. Tween and Aurel, minus 17. And then the biggest loser of map 4 is Papu, who disconnected and lost 34 points. How much time do you spend learning tracks on average? Depends on what purpose, Professor. If I learn a track just like that, it takes almost no time. I learn them on the fly. But for a competition, it's, yeah, between 10, 15, 20 hours. At least for the TrackMania Grand League. For other competitions, probably less. But that's, I think, an average for me at least. Do you actually play better when you know your position? I feel like I personally do best when I just focus on playing without knowing the current standings. Same. For the most part. Like, I also like to just focus on my own pace and drive my game. Just play down my game. But on the other hand, in a scenario like this, where you cannot afford getting these positions, I kind of need to be aware of where I am. And I need to be aware of, you know, do I have to push or can I save? So I need to see what my current pace is currently worth. It's just a must in this game mode. Should I buy TrackMania 2? How alive is it compared to TMNF? Which one should I buy? The thing is, TM2 is the big competitive game. It's what you see right here. So if you want to go towards the competitive side, or for the creative side, TM2 allows for a lot more customizability. You should go for TM2. It's also the game that is still being maintained. TMNF is free. It gives you a good glimpse into what awaits you. But it's a bit older. However, still a fun game. And both games have their communities. So here we go with map number 5. A map that I felt very comfortable with. I like this map, and I'm glad this one returns. So, on this map, I had in the back of the mind... Like, in the back of the mind, I knew I could maybe win. I do not have Instagram, sorry. I am not an Instagrammer. So here we go, lap 1. Pretty good quarter pipe. And the start was definitely looking promising. I was first at this point, so I knew I had the pace. So I kept pushing. Yeah, I did play with the Nadeo music because I want to upload this to YouTube. That's why. So also a good drift. Still first. And now, probably one of the best identities I've ever driven. I had so much speed, I thought I don't know, man. I didn't know who I was at this point. I forgot my name. I was 0.6 ahead of second after lap 1. So I knew I had the pace here. And I had to go for it, man. I had to go for it. This lap 1 was top tier, dude. It was top fucking tier, dude. Why not use the commentary for the YouTube? Could actually do that, yeah. Could actually go for that. So yeah, this was a bit safe. I also overjumped, so I lost 0.3 because I didn't grip in time. Not the greatest lap 2 here, unfortunately. So Papu came closer, who was on second place. After the disconnect, of course, he was a bit mad. And he wanted to make it happen. But I was still first. Papu was closing in only 900s now, so he was pushing. Somebody probably told him that I was struggling a bit. And now, Monka W. I almost fell. Because I had a very, very bad bounce. I had a very, very, very bad bounce. I was too far on the right. And I landed with my right front tire first, which caused for a very bad bounce. So you see I landed with my 2 right wheels first, and too far on the right as well. So, yes. I got an air SD. At this point, I was like, yes, I'm gonna get kicked out of Nordavind. But, I got away. I only got a slowdown. But I really would have expected my car to spin, like completely. Because normally, when you clip the edge like that with one of the back tires, the car spins 90 degrees and you're out. But it actually didn't happen. So, refocus and try to push it again. Because I knew I had the pace. Once again, I knew I had the pace. I was 1.4 seconds down. So I was still trying to get back to the top. No regrets, dude. No regrets. So, P7 at this point of time. Grantix resubbing for another month. Thank you very much. Welcome back. I appreciate that. So here we come to the next identity section, lap number 3. Saved a lot, but it works. It worked fine. A bit too much of a mid-air release, but it worked. Here, Monka W as well. Another Monka W part. I saw I was jumping towards this edge. And you guys who maybe followed my practice sessions knows that I have clipped this edge multiple times and I flew to the next space station. Get it? So I had to release in order to avoid the edge. And that cost me more time. But I was aware of my situation, and my cat reflexes allowed me to release. Also, nice landing here. So this was pretty ass. But we're in the race. I don't know what position I was here. I think it was roughly the same. Yeah, I was P5 now. 5 seconds behind. Also almost ripped here as well. So 2 seconds behind first. Hard to catch up at this point. But with a map like this, you never know. Here we go again. Also pretty safe. But I had an okay bounce. So I was now 4th. With still a 2-second deficit. I had Carl Jr. in front of me. Who was now behind me. So I went up to 3rd. And I had Revolution in front of me. With 1 whole second. Which is a lot. But I kept going. Yes. 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 Unnecessary risks.de. But I caught up to Revo. Now it was only 0.6. And the gap to Papu was roughly the same as well. So we had a very, very similar pace. Here, I wasn't quite sure what to do. I flew too far and I didn't land in the slope. So bad speed for me, unfortunately. And at this point I was like, okay, now I need to keep Carl behind me. Because he was closing in and Revo was getting away. But apparently here at this point, all of them made mistakes. Because Revo went from 1.2 seconds to 2 point something seconds. I was like, okay, the battle for second is hot. Unfortunately, this jump wasn't quite hot. Neither was this one, but hey. Better safe than sorry. So, look at the gaps. 2.24 seconds, 2.25, and 2.40. So, we three were really close. And I was aware of that. I was aware of that. And I knew I had to get a good identity. And then I could maybe get second. That was the plan from this point on. Bren was multiple seconds behind on 5th, so I knew even if I got a bad identity, I could have saved 4th at best. At worst, I mean. So here it goes. Cam change for no reason. Bit too much drift in the landing. And, yeah. At the end of the day, 16 hundredths of a second between us at the end. After 7 minutes of driving. So, yeah. That was definitely a possible win for me. But didn't work out for me. Maybe next time. So we see GG dot by Papu. Showing that, you know, he slapped the dick on the table after DCing. He now gets first. GG. Full stop. Dot. Bam. And on this track, Kappa lost 32 points. Coco lost 21 and Massa lost 30. So that was, for me, good. Because I was able to go up in the leaderboard. Since multiple players that were in front of me lost their points, so I went up in the scoreboard. So with 15 points and P7, I went into the last track. Carl Jr. with 78, Scrappy 53, expected good performance by Scrappy. Revolution 52, very nice as well. Bren up to 36, Roland also nice, 27, Papu 20 after having won this track, 15, me, Aurel 11th, and then we have Spam who lost the points, Kappa, Pack, Tween, Matt, Coco, Massa, and PKS Stream 1, my favorite player out of the Grand League actually. But yeah, here goes nothing on map number 6. A track that I was comfortable with. I am fast here. But it is risky too. This track involves a lot of risks, particularly in the full speed section and in the identity. So I was aware that too many mistakes in the identity section could possibly cost me my 15 points. You might ask yourself, hey, 15 points? That's not a lot. And then Aurel DC'd. GP Aurel left the game. So we had 2 disconnects in 1 step. Unbelievable. And Marcin, who couldn't even connect. So we don't have the greatest start into the Grand League with some technical problems. So Aurel left. And I was sad about Aurel, because he had 11 points. But that meant 1 less opponent for me. Also, good job, Roland. There go the points. So, all or nothing on map number 6. As I said, I have the pace, but considering everyone knew this was going to be the last map, everyone practiced this as well. Yeah? So the level was high, inevitably, on this track. Let's take a look at how this goes out for me. Very good start. I was second, I think. And then here I was first. I believe. After the dirt section, I think I was first. No, I was third. Okay. That's basically first. So here we go. Very scary. I jumped too high. And I lost already 0.4. However, good identity, a lot of speed, no slowdown. So lap 1, check. Only 8th. Only 8th, unfortunately. I expected to be a bit further ahead, but 8th, okay. Dealt with it, moved on. Bad entry into the loop. Into the boosters, I mean. The goal there is to get as many boosts as you can. Because the speed... You carry it through this entire full speed section. However, more speed also makes it harder to navigate through the corners. So it's a bit of a trade-off. Right here I was 5th. With a good drift as well. Little zigzag on the dirt. And up to 5700s. So that was pretty good. This was better. Not the best, but it was definitely better. And that was 3rd now. And also survived the identity. So here at this point, I thought I was safe. At this point I was like, cool. 5th place? Not bad. Keep it till the end. I was 1 second behind Pack, who probably went for the 1-map strategy. Or practice this one the most, because I think Pack didn't really have a lot of time to practice. The right-left always loses you time. You mean the no jump in the end? Oh, you mean the identity? Yeah. Left, in my opinion, like, it never really worked out for me. So I went for right-left. I knew it was slower, but it was definitely the safer choice. Also, what will happen? A, I will die. B, I will not die. C, a truck falls on my head. Or D, the entire Twitch chat wins 1 million euro. What do you think? I survived. And at this point I was starstruck. I was like, holy fuck, I almost threw away my points. I almost threw away my job. So I crashed down to 8th. And from this point on, it started getting shaky. At this point, I started feeling the nerves. Because I was on the hot seat. I was on P8. So I was like, fuck! Don't pass me. And pray to the Lord that someone's gonna crash. So I saw I had Kappa right up my ass. While I knew people could have made mistakes, Kappa behind me is also bad. Because he's fast. I think I momentarily went up to 7th here. And this was a good quarter pipe as well. So I was like, okay, cool beans. 6th place as well. But, skra! Slow down and wall touch. And here is where, yeah. The poop has been dropped a little bit in the trousers. 10th place. On my way to lose my points. So at this point, full attack, full focus. And I had nothing else in my head than drive good lap times now. The gap wasn't big, but I had to make something happen. And yeah, I think it's needless to say that I'm absolutely not happy with how I played on this track. Considering that I had one of the fastest 6-lappers among all players. Definitely could have gone better. But I got a bit too scared, I think. Too late wallbang. But at least I didn't get a slowdown. So I was 9th. Still in front of Kappa. So here I had a 0.6 deficit to 8th place. But the gap was getting a little bit smaller. I was regularly checking. And I knew I had to go all in here. A lot of speed. Almost hitting the forehead on the checkpoint. Closing in. Checking the checkpoint. Keeping the speed. Zoop. 2300s. Here we go. Pushing it very hard. Nice drift. Zigzagoon on the dirt. Dirt entry. Check. Dirt uphill. Check. Good speed. Check. Riolu up to 8th. Good gear. Good zigzag. Good speed in the loop. Check. Bit too high. And here it was do or die. I saw I was 7th at this point. And when I passed this, the biggest relief of my life has been fulfilled. Riolu on 8th, and I keep my points. GG. That was a butt clench and a half. And apparently it was Rollin who made a massive mistake in the end. And kinda saved me a little bit. Revolution lost 52 points. He was in a battle with me, but yeah, apparently he pushed it very hard in the end. In order to secure himself. Rollin, 27. And the biggest upset, Scrappy, 53. And he was the one who also had a great pace, but he went left in the identity. And I was kinda thinking, hey, he could maybe fuck it up. And I'm not sure what actually happened to him in the end. But yeah, Scrappy lost 53, Bren lost 36, Aurel lost 11. So again, many players who were in front of me after map 5 have lost their points. So yeah, your boy, Riolu TM, is... Can it like... Drumroll? Ah! 4th! At the end of step 1 with 21 points. It's not a lot. It's not a lot, but it is honest work. So I placed 4th in the Grand League step 1 with Carl Jr. on First, obviously, with 87 points. Absolutely stellar performance. The only one who kept his points throughout the whole step, I think. Every single one of us has lost them at some point. Unfortunately, Papu lost them due to a disconnect. I think he would have been someone to contest Carl. But yeah, super happy with 4th place. Definitely didn't expect this coming out of the step. But that will give me a very good head start into step number 2. And yeah, hyped for that. Really looking forward to that. Also, good that some of the good maps will stay for step 2. So time to maybe redeem myself and get maybe €100 for a map win or some more points.